Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome to a best of 5 of professional StarCraft 2. Today in the bottom right, spawning as our Red Terran player, playing for no team currently, it is KazuR. And playing for Team NV in the top left here of Golden Aura, our Protoss player, it is Creator. Best of 5 between these two perhaps not as well known players. Both with a very distinct style though. And I always enjoy watching games between two players that have different styles from the general meta. Because they kind of have their own little meta game. You know, they have responses to, most of the time, to the standard things that happen. But do they also have responses to non-standard things with their kind of off-brand style? So we see a triple gate opener here coming out of Creator. Now this is not the weirdest build in the world, but it is very uncommon to see this particular opener coming out of a Protoss player, especially given the fact that, well, actually we do see that the most against this build, but I always find it kind of weird. So if you think about it, KazuR's build order has the highest amount of units that any build is going to have. The only thing it really is lacking is going to be a bunker. That is the only difference. It has way more units, it has factory units, it has good scouting as well. So it often feels like these types of 3-gate builds are fairly gimmicky. As this Cyclone killed one Adept, managed to damage the second one a little bit as well. KazuR as a result is going to head on home here with this bad boy. Might actually end up spotting these Stalkers though on his return path. Yeah, there we go. Is going to see it. This medevac probably needs to turn around. Instead we're going to go for like some semi-base trade. KazuR did not pay proper attention to the minimap there. It's coming back with the medevac now for a flanking motion. Could potentially catch any reinforcements that get warped in. Could also get caught himself, of course. It's a thin line between being a good surround and a completely useless surround. This does, however, seem to be a pretty good surround. Cyclone gets microed back. The one that is low, that is. As these Stalkers are being taken out at a very high pace. A Zealot, and Adept, and a Stalker show up here near the Cyclone. That sounds like the start of the joke. Well, I'm not quite sure what the punchline would be. Instantly picks up the rest of his units as well after pushing this back. Seeing if he can still pick up maybe one more unit. I don't actually think he can. Yeah, it's gonna pick it up once more. See if he can boost forward. There's no battery quite yet. Here we go. Ugh. Dropped it a little bit too soon there. He's going to need to pick off and piss off. That's exactly what KazuR is going to be doing here. How many Cyclones do we have? We have 2 more Cyclones at home. So that means that KazuR is absolutely safe. He's down 8 workers. His follow-up barracks are quite late. But so is the third base here for Creator. And I'm not actually sure if that's a bigger deal. Like, what is the bigger deal here? The fact that KazuR was so afraid that he didn't dare building these extra barracks? Or the fact that Creator was cutting so many, well, it was warping in so many units that he couldn't afford a third base. Was cutting that third base timing for a very long time. He's doing this off 2 gas, by the way. So there's not going to be any serious follow-up here. No Colossus, no Templar Archive. It's just going to be a very old-school blink charge type of opener. And I'm real curious to see how that's going to kind of pan out here. 4 Stalkers moving in position, trying to deal with this. Going for the medevac will take out that medevac, as 3 Cyclones on the low ground are not that much of a threat. They needed that high ground vision to clear the pylon, to clear maybe the gateway as well. That's not going to be possible right now. Stalker's going to chase at least for a little bit. I think that Creator might have been a bit too passive here with his Stalker movement. Could have chased with everything. Now realizes that. He's going to start moving in. Could potentially get 3 or 4 Marines here if he decides to blink in forward. Yep, there we go. He's going to get 3 more Marines. Oh, but we have KazuR on top of the ramp with the Cyclones. It's not quite going to be capable of getting a whole lot done. Loses all of these Marines. Needs to be careful that he doesn't end up losing the game straight up over here. Is there a tank back home? No, there's not. There is going to be a bunker, though. 8 Stalkers versus 3 Marauders and 8 Marines. Bunker has finished, so the threat has been somewhat neutralized in my mind. So we saw Creator just spotting to make sure that there's no tank on the low. And there's not. 58 workers. To 47. We have a full 3-base saturation, but only on 3 gases. Extra gateways just now being added in. That is extremely late. But with stim and combat not being done yet, you might get a single warp in off. He might just get a single warp in off. This is genuinely quite a good situation as well here for KazuR. I wonder if Creator spotted that. I think he did with that Observer. He's gonna start moving in towards the bottom side. Can he blink on top of this? No, he can't. It's just a little bit too slow. If he moves in a little more direct manner, I think he would have gotten at least a medevac there. That was close. Still a good situation here, I think, for Creator, who's popping off into a fort base already. Adding in 2 more gases as well. So he wants a couple more sentries, perhaps. Warps in the 4 zealots. And I'm fully expecting him to throw down a forge or 2 as well behind all of this. I truly am expecting him to throw down a forge. Not quite the case yet, though. Here come the Stalkers. Fort base does get cancelled. We have a lot of money in the bank here for Creator, and that means we're going to see a big warp in. No, that's not true at all. There's only 3 gateways that were active. There are 9 gateways on the map in total. Yes, this is going to get cleared. Okay. That is big. That is quite big indeed. Zealot. Not going to get picked up here. 7 SCVs go down, and I think about 7-8 Zealots going down as well. KazuR at the same time dealing quite some damage. This is a gnarly position because you can't really attack into it as a Protoss player with all these minerals here. KazuR not really paying attention though. Now stims his entire army to try and run back. It's losing a lot of HP. Lost a Marauder there as well. Does stabilize at home and is continuing his upgrade. Starts a Liberator. The one thing I hadn't expected. Why a Lip? Okay, it's gonna be... Okay, 1 Lip and then double Viking. It's gonna use the Lip to fight off the Prism. Would make much more sense to me to wait until the Vikings are out. Then you could actually kill the Prism. Now this Prism can either fly away or it can recall, yeah. So you just helped Creator save his Prism. It's a, you know, a kind thing to do. Charitable thing. For sure. KazuR, yeah. The man of charity. I've heard it said before. I had never seen it in action quite like this. And that was very kind of him. Saying, here, you want to keep the Prism alive? There's 2 Vikings coming out of the Starpers, is what I've heard. You think I'm bad? These guys have no chill. Long range, they're quick. Better teleport home now, buddy. If I were you, I know what I was gonna do. KazuR is looking to cancel a fort base. And he would have been capable of cancelling a fort base if there was one in this position. Because it's been recreated here in the 9 o'clock, or at the 9 o'clock. Creator was completely unaware that this was moving across the map, by the way. This looks like a powerful little push, although KazuR slow at setting it up. Mines now starting to burrow as these 2 Liberators set up as well. Doesn't quite cut out this entire path. If these Lips were this area much further forward, this could be a very, well, very difficult situation for the Protoss to be in. But right now, with only 2 Liberators, you can't really... what do you call it? They slowly but surely move forward with them. Not stutter stepping. I forgot the word now. Leapfrogging. There we go. Can't really leapfrog forward with these Lips. As this is a nice position as well. That's a tiny little ramp, difficult to come down through. As a Cyclone managed to latch onto one of the Colossus there. There's no battery in this spot. Double Immortals though. Definitely packing a bit of a punch here against this mainly Marauder army. Colossus gonna get picked up. Good control here. Coming out of Creator. As he tried to go for a little bit of micro. Now loses the Prism. That's not entirely how he imagined it would go. It's like, oh, I'll do something cool here. Look at this. Gonna pick up my Zealots. Dodge the shots. Lose the Zealot and the Prism instead. Very nice. DT is on the way already here. As it's rare these days to see this type of DT, by the way, because this is like the single DT, like a single use DT. This is you can't use this. Oh my god, mine shoots again. You can't use this DT again. You know, single use. It's not cool. Pretty sure the EU banned single use DTs at this point as well. You can't have those anymore. Every DT needs to be reusable and needs to have blink. Yeah. Creator hasn't been hit with that yet. Every European Protoss, that's why. It's all these EU regulations, man. What can you say? They come in, tell us how to play. It's unbelievable. So you have, I mean, this is dealing no real damage. Let's face it, this guy isn't even one-shotting SCVs because he has no attack upgrade and there is an armor upgrade. Good damage here coming out of KazuR as well. See, I'm not sure how many gates he took out. I think he ended up taking out 1 gate, but denying a little bit of production is always going to be good. Lots of cash in the bank here for Creator all around. Good setups. A creator is very good at setting up like fights and standing in concave and being patient. Like, it's very difficult to do as a Protoss player because all your units, they just want to go in, you know? They're constantly telling you, hey, boss, I think we should charge into it. It's like, well, I have 2 zealots, he has 30 marines, perhaps not. It's like, nah, boss, we got it. And then they go, but the creator is very patient. He's standing here at a distance, needs to send the super battery right now, needs to send the super battery about 2 seconds ago, needs to send the super battery 6 seconds ago, needs to leave the game. KazuR picks up map number 1 here, Golden Aura, which is a Protoss favorite map. Ooh, second map here is going to be Heartland. That does make me a bit curious about all the vetoes. So the system that they use for best of 5 is a system in which both players get to veto one map, and then both players get to pick a map. And then there's one more veto, and then it's picks all around. So, for example, KazuR might veto Rothhuset Station, and then creator might veto Solaris. Now, as a Protoss, you ideally also want to veto Heartland, but you can't because there's now a picking phase. And in that phase, KazuR probably picked Heartland, and then creator, I guess, picked Golden Aura as his first map. I believe, which is kind of surprising, isn't it? So in my mind, from the Protoss perspective, there are 2 maps that I find quite good. And those are Rothhuset Station and Equilibrium. So if they veto Rothhuset, I pick Equilibrium as the first map. If they veto Equilibrium, I pick Rothhuset as the first map. I don't think I'd pick Golden Aura as the first map. I think it's a fine map for Protoss, but it's not that good, is it? It's okay. Once you lose, the thing on Golden Aura is that once you lose momentum, once you lose map control, it feels really hard. At least to me, it feels very difficult. And creator did lose that game, and it's always bad to lose your map pick. This is going to be a very fast Stargate. I didn't actually see the timing of the buildings, but it seems to have just been a standard 14 pylon 16 gate based on when the Stargate is about to finish. Sometimes we see a couple of probe cuts to get this going a little bit quicker. You know, 12 pylon, 13 gate, 13 pylon, 14 gate, something along those lines. These are builds that I haven't played in a long time, by the way, but it's cool to see. Quick Oracle coming out over here. It's going to be a 3-Rex opener out of KazuR, who's doing a good job defending this so far. Not losing any SCVs, he's not really losing any units either. Actually, that's not true, he's lost an SCV. But I guess he killed a Zealot, so that is worth it. How many workers need to be killed here? That would be a good question to ask ourselves. I think if you get less than 5 workers, this was not worth it. Absolutely not. Look at the worker count right now, 24 to 24. You're gonna need to kill at least 5 with the first one, and then another 3 with the second one. Okay, he's some scattershot shooting here with this Oracle. Ends up going for these Marines. Oh, this is good damage. This is seriously good damage. I said 5, he's gonna get 6, but the Adept comes in, is gonna make it 7. Also a full pool away from the main base. Gonna perhaps even make it 8. Adept can just stay around here, by the way. The second Oracle now shows up. And this Adept is going to be covered by the skies. Oh no, that means that these Marines should probably die if the Adept helps out. Now Adept is just fighting off these SCVs. This is good control here coming out of creator. I think this game is, I don't want to say pretty much game over, but it does feel very, very good here for creator. 11 worker kills, 27 workers to 19. Twilight's going down, second gateway. The follow-up that makes the most sense from my perspective here is to head into a 3-gate blink. I think that's what he's going for as well. He didn't quite add that third gateway yet. Now he's going to get another worker kill. He's going to get another worker kill. He's going to get another worker kill. 31 workers to 18. KazuR would need to perform some insane magic tricks here in order to win this game. And I think the only magic trick he really has up his sleeve is pulling the the rabbit out of the big hat. He's moving across the map. He's moving across the map and killing his opponent. Maybe even pulling the boys with it. But this is not a very good magic trick. Like, Creator is just looking over at KazuR. It's like, he sees this rabbit being stuffed in the head, you know? It's like, I can see what you're doing. It's like taking out the double, the double layer on the bottom. It's like, I can see the second layer there. He's like, no, don't worry about it, bro. You don't need a battery. It's like, maybe even a second here. I wouldn't have minded a second battery. I really wouldn't have minded it. These triple oracles, they don't have a lot of damage defensively. This is actually a pretty big army right now. Now, there are 4 stalkers, 1 sentry, 1 adept. We have a stasis ward as well. Here comes KazuR with a stim instantly, I can only imagine. There we go. Does he see the stasis? He does not. Well, now he sees it. He experienced it. It's different. You had to be there to understand it. Yeah, and now with 1 or 2 more warpits, it's going to be just fine. We do have a second battery on the way right now. That's some wild risk management there, but I like it anyway. Stim ran out as well during that stasis. I didn't know that was the case. You'd figured if they were frozen in time, they wake up still, you know, under the influence of the drugs. But it's more like a big sleep, I guess, by putting you in with stasis, you know? You go to bed drunk, you wake up, well, with a hangover, and somewhat sober most of the time. Blink's about to finish up with this game. It feels extremely over. Let's take a look here at the follow-up, or well, the lack of a follow-up. We now have a factory going down. We don't have +1 started yet. 35 workers to 45, third base goes down. I mean, I think the RoboBay here is a very good call. And the reason for that is because Colossus are generally really good when there is no map control for the Terran. And there's not going to be any map control for the Terran. Oracles come in, just kill every Marine because it was so low. I mean, this is so freaking bad right now here for Creator. It's almost, yeah, it's insane. It is kind of crazy here. Another stim is going to be forced. KazuR should just leave this game. He really should just leave it. It's impossible to win this one, I think. Or almost impossible to win this one. Once we get 2 Colossus out, Creator can and should just move across the map to win. Medevacs will be way too late. +1 now has started. This Oracle is moving in forward. To get a revelation out there, not quite getting it. Initially, gets it in the end though. Forge behind all of this, we have a Colossus, as mentioned before. I'm not even sure if I like the Forge. I mean, I like it as a safety play, but at the same time, if you go for an 8 gate with charge and 2 Colossus, it's legitimately impossible to lose this game. Like, it's not even close. Like, the Protoss player here is ahead in supply already. That is unheard of. And he's ahead by 14 supply while building extra infrastructure. Third base on the way. You know what KazuR actually needs to do here? Well, the only solution is for KazuR is building tanks right now. He should build tanks, sit back and do nothing. And then hope that his opponent has really bad micro. Something along those. I think that's actually the only viable plan here. He's going to go for a reactor instead. So it's going to be mines. Mine is a style based on momentum. KazuR has no momentum. So how can you play a style that's based on it? I don't think it's possible. Creator here is allowing him on the map. Don't mistake this for a momentum though. Still no momentum. These are slow zealots. Slow zealot drop heads in towards the main and we'll take out 6 SCVs already. It's a lot of SCVs for slow zealots. Charge is well, about 15 seconds away from finishing up. Prism picks up and pisses off again as well. It's gonna chill in the dead space for a little bit. Templar Archives on the way as well as 6 gas. And here comes a blink in forward. Will not quite get that medevac as random Marauders and Marines moving towards the left. The only thing that KazuR can do here is base trade, but he's not on the map, so he also can't base trade. And that's the only thing he can do right now, is pray that his opponent move commands into his army. This is 133 supply of Protoss with good reinforcements nearby, with a massive range advantage. No Vikings out quite yet. It seems impossible. Like, I just don't understand how KazuR would win this game. Even in a best case scenario, like how would he do it? Stock should probably move forward with this army, by the way, but was a bit too far in the back. Now starts attacking a refinery, which is also not brilliant. Oh, he's very afraid here. What's the gate count? Only at 6. I thought that was higher. He added a fort rather than more gateways. Wow. If Creator goes back here, I'd be shocked almost. Well, not almost. I'd actually be shocked. KazuR believes that he might have cleared this area. Good setup here for Creator. He's going to move him forward with these Stalkers. Trying to damage one of the Marauders. He's going to get one. See how low the energy is on these medevacs? He can only stim once. And once he stims, actually I believe he should pull back here as the Protoss. If there's this little medevacs, just let him waste the stim. Let him waste the stim. No reason for you to go in and fight while the units are stimmed. Of course you can, because you're so far ahead, but there's also no reason to. Absolutely no reason to. More Vikings on the way out. That's triple medevacs without any energy right now. Zealot's moving in. Start fighting these SCVs. Big blinking forward as 2 Vikings get knocked out of the sky. Here comes the Purification Nova. Couple more Colossus in the back. Yeah, this game has been over since the second Oracle flew in. And it is now still over. KazuR trying his best though. GG gets called. Creator wins game number 2. Creator's looking for something. Now there is definitely something there. You know, he's heard the chatter on the street. Chatter on the street is there's a little barracks. The barracks is located in his natural. Oh, this is a typical KazuR build. I love this type of stuff. I absolutely adore this type of build. Oh, now he's gonna scout it. Ooh, this is gonna be close. Oh, the SCV was actually moving in the right direction there, KazuR. Oh no, he needs it to go towards the bottom side. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this is safe. This is safe. 3 more seconds. Oi, 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 oi. The Reaper pops out. That's a lot of mining time lost here for Creator, achieving maybe a 3 or 4 second win there. I'm not sure if that's really worth it though, Chief. I'm not sure if that's really worth it. He's moving out with I don't think he has a real response against this. This is real scary because this hits like a truck. And oh, we're gonna get a bunker on the natural as well, or just an SCV patrolling for now. It's gonna be a bunker. Look at that. In range of the ramp, out of range of this high ground. This is the perfect build. He's gonna build Marines then? Okay, second Reaper. I thought maybe Marines, you know? Now, you should never target a Zealot here. The Zealot is bait. That is the most obvious bait in the world as well. Like, would you rather be killing probes? Or would you rather be killing a Zealot? Or, well, you end up not killing a Zealot, damaging a Zealot. The Zealot is bait. Look at it. Look at that bait. 70 HP there that he took out of the Zealot. That is basically 2 probes that he could have gotten extra. The time he spent shooting that Zealot. Up, another shot at the Zealot. Hey, take it out. The Reaper's gonna get towards the low ground and with the bunker. Oh. This is a wild little cheese. And I really like it. And I'm gonna copy it. Woohoo! Because this looks fun. Because this looks freaking fun. Because you're splitting up your opponent's bases, or they're on one base, and then you just go into Cyclones. What are they gonna do? Hey, KazuR's actually just playing a full-on one base all in. When's the last time we've seen something like this, huh? A full-on one base all in. That is extremely rare. Second barracks. Another Reaper popping out as well. It's gonna go in for a scout with that Reaper, I think. This feels like a scouting Reaper. It's not a scouting Reaper. Okay, third Reaper pops in. Should pop out these Reapers to... They should have thrown some grenades, I think. Maybe would have been fine. Hop. Sees the second gateway and the Nexus. Okay, maybe he just didn't realize what was kicking off. Is this barracks is trying to fly back home? Close, close. 2 Cyclones, 3 Reapers. And that's a force. Ooh, starts attacking this this battery instantly. Gets quite a bit of damage from it as well. Once again, no grenade being used. Once again, no grenade being used. And he's baiting, look at that. Baiting these units to not be here. That's all he cares about. Now he's gonna start moving in towards the main base. Now there are 2 stalkers as well as a battery in that main base. That's quite a few units. KazuR, of course, not aware of this. Is going to now target 1 stalker. Is the move back quick enough? Yes, it is. And that means that this push will come to an end. Most likely. There's a super battery available as well if necessary. So these 3 Reapers, although they're very strong, will not be capable of winning the game outright here. Actually, KazuR might be locked in here with Creator. KazuR also floating an astronomical amount of money here. 600 minerals this early into the game. That is a bad, bad float. He is down bad, as the kids would say. Okay, now starts adding some stuff. Finally starts building things. Had to drop a super depot as well. This situation's not good. It's not a good start here for KazuR. And, well, his start actually was very good, but the point after the start, that wasn't so good. You got off of the starting thing. You know, when they do the sprint? Is it with the sprint where they have like this little machine that they put their feet in for the perfect starting posture? So you have like an insane kickoff. I think that's what it's for, right? I think it's for a sprint. You're allowed to have these. They're the 100-meter dash. The one that Bold always won. So if we were to compare that, then KazuR got out of them starting machines real good. Like the little metal thing that you kick off against. And then at like meter 12, he just kind of stumbled. Oh, forgot how to run. That happens to the best. It really does happen to the best. Can't blame the guy. Yeah, so this situation all around sucks. Although I freaking hate Creator's follow-up so much that it might actually be okay. Up to depot. Like, this is going to be, what, a 4-gate blink? There are 2 tanks out already. He was in a really good spot with a lot of momentum. And now he's going to be in a really good spot, but without the momentum. And he's going to be down a base. So he needs to be careful. If he doesn't trade even kind of okay, I think he's dead. But, okay, yeah, KazuR is now moving out. This is... Okay, I think KazuR is just straight up gonna die. Honestly, if these units were at home, with Stim especially, I think it would have been freaking huge. Like, if you had, like, 5 more Marines and a Marauder here with Stim, that's really quite a big deal. That really is quite a big deal. As this drop is going to land on the other side of the map, we have 8 SCVs already going down. Tank siege is up. I think Creator... I wonder how he's going to do this. He kind of needs to blink in here, but it's also scary to do that. Defended this well at home. Just pulled away the SCVs. Okay, we get some production here. Should we maybe just recall? Okay, we're gonna get a kill on this command center. No, we're not quite gonna get a kill on this command center. This drop in the main base, though, is gonna get cleaned up the moment these stalkers finish up. Battery's gonna get targeted down as well. So this medevac will fall. Both players taking out the other person's healing. Yeah, and it does feel like Creator is going to be in an okay spot here. This command center will survive, and these stalkers are in a weird position. And try and blink out. Yeah, managed to blink out. 2 tanks. A bunch of Marauders. A bunch of Marines. But a 3rd base still. And really just look at it. No, what are we doing? Move back. Yeah, okay, he's gonna drop the Zealots. The tank. Yeah. Very nice. Very good control there. Very good control. Solid stuff. Now, had the mines been downstairs, it's a different story. But the mines weren't downstairs, so it's not a different story as Creator takes game number 3. It's been quite a peculiar series so far. But just games not going how they usually go. Just a little bit different. Very early game focused. And I think that is largely due to the credit of KazuR. Although in the second game, of course, we saw the Proxy Oracle. Don't think we can really blame that on KazuR. Yeah, freaking Terrans dying to the Proxy Oracle. Can't believe it. Nah, that's not fair. He's gonna play 2 gas again. And he loves his 2 gas builds. Absolutely adores it. And understandably. They're good. They allow a lot of pressure. They allow a lot of aggression. I'm gonna see how he's going to figure everything out in life here. With that 2 gas play. the ocean monster on Oceanborn, still just flying around, making his rounds. You can even see it through the fog of war. That's how powerful this shadow is. Even through the fog, you can see it. I think the entire thing, the entire patrol command, it's like 15 seconds or so. Every 15 seconds you see this shadow flying over. Driving me absolutely nuts. Only happening in the bottom right side of the map. It doesn't happen here. I guess it would be a bit unrealistic for such a small area to have two massive sea monsters casting a shadow. Lore inaccurate. We have the CC being built on the high ground. Single Reaper into reactor. Factory in here as well. It's not close enough to the barracks to fly over, I think. She's gonna start a cyclone or a car after the starport. Yeah. Starport first. And then we're gonna have to wait and see what he's actually gonna be doing. Oh, it's going to be the 6 Marine 1 mine drop, I think. This is a build that Maru did a lot for a little while, and then stopped doing it for, well, basically until now. I think I haven't seen Maru play it a whole lot anymore. 6 Marines in a medevac together with a mine, fly across the map, having a good old time. Trying to get some damage in either the main or the net. That's usually the plan. So we have a... this is kind of a wild way to open, by the way. It's going to be 3 units. Into second gate. With a late battery. Into 3 gate. Okay. And this is definitely a build. There's no robo yet. Okay, he gets the robo right now. I'm very surprised by this. It's gonna have real good production, don't get me wrong. But the production is gonna hit pretty freaking late. Something we shouldn't forget about. It's gonna be 5 Marines and a mine. I think he might have forgotten about the 6th Marine. Left behind at home. Proper 1-1-1 setup here, coming out of KazuR. Wants to fly into the dead space. Right now his rally is set in a way that he's going to fly straight into the Reaper wall, which is obviously incorrect. Oh no, he just wants the shortest line here to the main. He's gonna get caught though by these stalkers. Good positioning here. Coming out of Creator, how is he gonna manage this? He has a lot of stalkers out. That really is a lot of stalkers out. That is a lot of stalkers out, holy cow. 5 stalkers and an adept. Used to have 2 adepts until he walked into a mine. Every unit stayed like... Actually, he added another unit into the medevac. Okay, this guy wasn't here on the way to the main base. He took my spot. That's what it is. 2 more barracks coming in. 2nd tank, Raven. 3rd base though, as well as a prism. A little bit of a bipolar build here coming out of Creator. Not sure whether he wants to expand quickly or wants to put on serious pressure, but the time for serious pressure has ended already anyway. I'd much prefer seeing him add production, add in charge, rather than saying, hey, I want to do some late minor pressure here on the other side of the map. Is this going to be game changing, you think? Because I don't think so. I absolutely do not think so. 3 stalkers in a prism. Gonna add an adept in as well. As a result, these gates are going to be very delayed because you just build a prism. You probably did another stalker warp in as well. I think those are serious, serious mistakes, I would call them even. Like, unless you end up getting 10 worker kills here, it really wasn't worth it. I really don't think it is. Another big supply block here for KazuR, 78 out of 78. Good response here initially, and it's actually Creator that ends up losing a unit. Cyclone also will go down. Stalker for a Cyclone. It's about an even trade. Actually would not be happy with that if I were Creator in this particular situation. Fort gas being thrown down as well. There's no follow-up tech. Gateway's now coming online. Stim and Combat Shield are fairly late as the factory moves on over to try and do something else. What that is going to be, I don't know yet. Probably a reactor. Otherwise you could just stay on the tech lab, of course. 2 more gateways, going up to 7. It's also a weird number. A very odd number indeed. And supply-wise, this looks pretty okay for Creator. I'm not gonna lie. KazuR, yeah, he's planning on moving out, isn't he? Oh, he definitely is. He wants to push. Where's that prism, by the way? Oh, it's with these 2 stalkers. Showing the prism, I'm just not a fan of. Because it basically tells your opponent, hey, I don't have a prism coming towards your main base. And it means you can just rally across the map if you want to. It's not what KazuR is doing, but he could have. Oh, this is a scary setup. Raven under some heavy fires. That one sentry's gonna get taken out. No stim being used yet. Double auto turrets going down here as well. Not the greatest find, honestly, for KazuR. Felt like that should have been much better. But the 8 Marine drop, sorry, the 5 Marine, 1 Reaper, 1 Mine drop heads in towards the main base, forces out a recall. And now things are starting to get very scary here for Creator. He was not in position to deal with this. Good recall. Cleans it up. At the same time, though, starts losing a couple of these Zealots. Taking out SCVs on the other side of the map as well. With his Zealot run by in towards that natural. 122 supplied and 98. As KazuR now in a position that I'd rather not be in if I were the Terran. Is going to need to figure a way to get back into the game. And that way usually is through drops or through some weird attack. He just needs to find something. If you don't find something, well then life usually is over as you know it. 4 Zealots heading in towards the natural of his opponent. Or well, not quite, but soon. Fort base on the way, and this is when things actually get difficult on this map as well. Look at the layout of these bases, and look how little vision Creator actually has, especially here on the bottom side. He's completely blind. And it provides opportunities for KazuR. The question is only, will KazuR be there to take those opportunities? Will he know that there's no vision on the bottom side, as Creator is starting to build something here? Something's going in. Single Zealot in the natural. 3 Zealots heading in towards the main. Armory about to be halfway done. Would be great for these mines, of course. Perhaps allow you to go for a triple mine drop. Killing a bunch of probes. Forcing out a big reaction out of the opponent. Cannon's already going up though, so probably not quite going to be the case here. Not quite going to be the case. Double Colossus in production as Creator is marching slowly but surely to a victory here. A 3-1 victory in this best of 5. With a 13 supply lead. Although an upgrade deficit. He is in a phenomenal spot here. He really is. Now we have a 4 mine drop heading in. This is what I was alluding to earlier. It's like these, once the armory finishes, this has become so common for Terrans to do, because if there are no cannons out, it takes so much time to clean up. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of attention. You need to deal with 3-4 mines individually, and they're always going to get in a bit of damage as well. We get a single mine drop here, a second mine drop. Okay, confusing, but I guess that's what he thought was best. We're going to get cannons up here in the main as well. Every base is going to have a cannon. Second forge gets added in too. We have a Zealot run by waiting to get sent as well. Ghost Academy. No fort base here whatsoever for KazuR. KazuR saying no. Fort bases are not for me. What I'm going to be doing is just moving around the map. Probably with a maxed out army. And then trying to take a fight away from a battery. That's the only thing that makes any real sense to me. Three Colossus. Raven's still there as well, by the way. Anti-armor would do, you know. It could put in some serious work. It's definitely an underrated spell. Here comes KazuR. Not enough stalkers, I think. No, actually enough stalkers to take out one medevac. More force fields. Trying to go down. Will not quite, though. Colossus moving in forward. This is a scary attack. I would not recommend this to Creator at all. Look how big this army is. Also Creator. Oh, he forgot thermal lance. I was wondering why his Colossus were so weak. Zealot run by heads in towards the natural. So this was just a fake move in, really. Kind of to force an opening for the Zealots. Going for the turrets. Allowing his prism to go in later, perhaps. Look at this move. Imagine being this guy. Sitting here, waiting, nothing happening. Providing a big service there to your race. Big service. Fort base going down right now. KazuR is on the warpath, and it makes sense. This is his one opportunity he has, that he is going to get this game. Creator handed it to him on a golden platter by losing all of his zealots and his prism. So that means that the KazuR can move out with his entire army right now. This is a tiny little defense force. Tiny little defense force. We have one, we have two force fields. We have a tank sieging up. This position is... you can't fight here. You simply cannot fight in this position. I don't buy it. Thermal lens about to finish. Okay, that is very big. That's going to help you push this back a little bit. Or well, it could have helped you push it back. Right now, not in battery range. I think you need to give up this base, but I don't think you can hold this. Probably should have expanded towards this left side 5th base. At the same time, Zealots heading in. Taking out 12 more workers. 5 more Zealots heading in. Could potentially look to get a couple more kills here. Ghosts are in position to deal with this though. KazuR playing it safe. Playing it solid, playing it slow. +2 is about to finish up. Hits his own SCVs there with the anti-armor missile. As a result, these Zealots deal way more damage. It is Creator coming in with a base trade move. As a bunch of Marines and Marauders are being split off. Starting to target down that battery. Wow, decision here by Creator, but probably a correct one. Real interesting movement. Needs the force field on the right. Is not quite gonna get there. Disruptor shots flying in forward will connect with some of these Marauders. And this Disruptor shot hits in a bigger way. Stalkers moving out, trying to take out these Vikings. But all of these Immortals are gonna die. And so will these Colossus against the Vikings. KazuR here picking up a big win. In this fight. Has he won the game as well though? His income is worse than his opponent. His upgrades are the same. His army is significantly bigger, but there are no EMPs available currently. That was the highest energy ghost as well. It's gonna get taken out. If Creator can stabilize, we might have a game on our hands. But he needs to stabilize. There's no battery done. Something flew back home, dies. We're gonna get one Purification Nova, does not connect. Next Purification Nova does not connect. And that means, I think, that KazuR is going to tie up the series and force out the ace match. Oceanborn not being very kind at all here for Creator. So he still has that hidden base on the 2 o'clock. I don't quite think it's going to be enough. KazuR moving in towards the natural's gonna get hit in the face by a Purification Nova. Should realize that something is wrong. It's like, why is my opponent turtling on 2 bases right now? That makes no sense. Is there perhaps a hidden base? KazuR's not gonna scout it. Just kind of marching back and forth between this, well, at this ramp. Yeah, immediately starts moving around with a Marauder. As well as with a Marine towards the top side right now. Realizes, hey, if this guy's staying in on 2 bases and I have 4 bases, something is very, very wrong. Indeed is going to spot it now. And this is the timing for Creator to go. Like, this is it. Creator now says, hey, if I don't defend that right side base, I'm super dead. So I need to defend that right side base. He's not doing a great job at it though, as he's completely out of position. There's a recall available, but the recall would be a little bit too late right now. We're gonna get a big stim. Cannons going down, Zealots being taken out as well. Mine is going to burrow. Still no EMPs in this army. He's gonna need a couple more ghosts. Would love to see these tanks being added in the mix as well. KazuR kind of afraid to commit here. That means that Creator gets to stay alive. And honestly, 144 supply. I mean, you're 2 big Disruptor shots away from evening up the supply. And then you're 1 more big Disruptor shots away from winning the game. Or from potentially winning the game at least. Oh, big snipe there. Needs to recall, needs to recall, needs to recall. Needed to recall 2 seconds ago. He's gonna lose 3 Stalkers here. Yeah. 3 Stalkers exactly go down. You have some long distance mining here on the bottom side. Stalkers moving towards the wrong, or recall towards the wrong base as well. Purification Nova's coming in. Neither of those are really going to hit. Guardian Shield gets activated. There is a super battery that's going to be big. Prism needs to come in to help out. Battery not being used. Battery still not being used. Good fight though by Creator. Holy crap. Holy crap. If the battery was here, I feel like this could have been a win. That was such an insane fight by him. I'm not sure how he did it, but he did. He's gonna target down some of these Vikings in the end. KazuR probably sweating a little bit right now. It's like, wait a second. Doesn't look as good as it should. I'm gonna move towards the right side. No, keep some units at home. Oh, it's gonna try and flank these stalkers. EMP. Let's get the connection. And here comes the stim in for. That's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stalkers going down. Disruptors coming in from the side. Can KazuR take it out? Yes, he can. GG gets called, ties it up, and we'll be heading into the ace match. And in that final game over here, we see KazuR once more opening up with a quick SCV scout. Well, it's not going to be a scout. Not gonna lie. It's going to be a Proxy Rex over here. Right next to the acceleration zone, as it's called. Speeding up the units. There used to be a bug in, I want to say like 2017 or 2016, when these zones were first put on the map. And I can't recall if it was with an acceleration zone, so the green zone, or with the red zone, which slows down speed by, I think it's like 20%. Ooh, this is a good scout. But on that particular map, if you build a barracks in the red zone, it would construct slower. So it wasn't just the movement speed of units, but also the build time. So when people would proxy racks in the zone, it would build slower. I don't think back then we had a green zone in which people proxy, but I could be wrong. Maybe it was a green zone and it actually sped it up. I just remember there was a little bit of a bug like that, and they had to fix it. God, that was great. This barracks is going to get cancelled though. This is a huge deal here. Absolutely massive. And this is one of the downsides of the proxies. Yes, proxies are really good, but you always have the chance, even if it's just a 10 or 15% chance, in which your first barracks gets taken out and you're just put in a god-awful position. This is really freaking bad here for KazuR. Now, why is it so bad? Because A, he's playing a single gas opener. This was a gas first, single gas. Wait, what was this? No, this was actually barracks in the gas, sorry. It was barracks in the gas opener. Single gas. His Reaper now starts at the same time that usually a Reaper would finish. And on top of that, he won't be allowed to build a command center on the low ground. Now, what is happening here for Creator? Creator just has a standard setup. There's nothing weird going on Creator's side of the map. His first adept finishes 2 minutes and 20 seconds into the game. He instantly chronos the second adept as well. I wonder if he's going to try and recall this probe, or if he's just going to keep it in his opponent's main base. Bunker is going down. I mean, this should never work. This legitimately should never work. It hasn't been spotted yet, though. This SCV is going to take out the probe. Reaper assist. Bunker's going to finish. Bunker... it's not going to finish. Look at that. 28 out of 29. 28 out of 29 seconds there. That is real close to finishing. One could even say that's just a single second away from finishing up. As we have this adept knocking on the door of the Terran. Terran sends both of his first Reapers across the map right now. Twilight Council will be the tech of choice for Creator. Well, we have a Cyclone being constructed behind this, and triple CC opener here out of KazuR. KazuR saying, hey, my early game went awful. I need to find a way to get back into this game. And I like the approach that he's taking. I really do like the approach that he is taking. Because this is going to allow him to clear any scouting of his opponent, be safe in the early game, yet still get that solid economy of the triple CC. Now, this is not the fastest possible triple CC. This is not single barracks in triple CC. No, of course not. It can't be. Not with an opener like this. But it's still going to be quick enough, I think. Second unit out of the factory, also going to be a Cyclone. Cyclone. I'm expecting a tech lab after this. And maybe a single tank. Wow, never mind. That's not going to be the case. He's going to build a reactor here, I think. Reactor on the factory. Tech lab on the barracks itself. No, it's going to be double tech lab. Wow, okay. Such a fast starport. I'm not entirely sure what this build is going to be. I'm not familiar with it. As the Cyclone has moved across the map, Blink is nowhere near being completed. Still a solid 30-40 seconds away. as this starport is idling. I'm not quite sure why we built this starport this early, especially given the fact that there's a tech lab as well in this factory, so you want to get a tank, right? Maybe a reactor? Confusing setup here, that's for sure, as Creator is afraid of an all-in. And I think that is pretty much what KazuR was banking on here. Creator being afraid of an all-in. Should Creator have been afraid of an all-in? No. But how could he know? He had no scouting info. Gets the info now with the hallucination. Double Cyclones still moving across the map. Stalkers out of position really to deal with anything. This starport has been one of the most confusing starports of its generation. It was built so early, and when it was being constructed I already was confused. And now seeing it not being utilized for about a minute and a half, I'm even more confused. Why wasn't this just a third barracks? Getting a combat shield upgrade, adding in an eBay as well. A, it would have given more safety, and B, you would have saved about 100 gas for, well, at least a little bit of time. Gas is often a resource that is difficult to get. Both of these Cyclones will fall, by the way, as this game is still looking good for Creator. Creator, after taking out that barracks, has had full map control, didn't take any damage at all. And I think he's lost one worker, has killed 2 Reapers, 2 Cyclones, and an SCV. Just in a phenomenal spot here, better tech than his opponent. And he's going to have full-on map control. KazuR here in, yeah, we could say in a world of trouble, I think. Absolutely in a world of trouble. Just now getting his 3rd barracks, which means he's going to be slow when it comes to producing units all around. Taking a 3rd base is going to be the struggle as well. I'm having a difficult time here, seeing what KazuR's plans are going to be. The only real viable plan that I see is building tanks, sitting back and doing nothing. He has 2 tanks, he has 3 tanks, okay, that's enough. They can go into mines from there on out. Vision is being created for a Creator. Just all around this base. I think we have 3 observers total, which is quite a lot, but I don't mind it. Keeps him safe. Not a huge fan of the 6 gas Templar archives. I think after you scout that triple CC, and the fact that it's two racks for such a long time, you know that the Marauder count is going to be very low, and if you have Colossus out, that means you should be safe. So I much would have preferred seeing a 4th base going down before all these extra gateways. Unless he's going for a very committed attack, but I don't think that's actually what is happening over here. Okay, maybe that is exactly what's happening here. But then I guess my issue is, do you really want to have a committed attack at this point? I'm not sure if that's the case. I'm not sure if you want a committed attack right now. 3 SCVs went down. I guess that was the Stalkers that were over here, just being recalled. Not sure if any of them actually survived. Maybe this one survived. Has a kill, so probably was one of them Stalkers. Here comes the attack. Now there are 3 tanks, defensively in good positions. This is an army that doesn't have a lot of tanking power. Storm being researched. I am scratching my head. I'm confused. I see a 4th base and I see a double drop heading out. KazuR he's getting something in this game. He's getting a move out. And that's more than I had expected out of him. This should have been a straight up walkover after this early game, but Creator's making it difficult for himself. There's a double drop out right now. I don't think this drop has been spotted yet. I don't think it has been. So this is a good pre-split as KazuR heads in towards the main base, but Stalker's in position. Creator great when it comes to pre-splitting his army, understanding where he needs to be at what point in time. There comes a blink down, takes out a medevac. That is a big deal. That's a very big deal indeed. Colossus here at the 4th base. Bunch of Zealots are out. Storm about to finish up. 2nd Robo done. This is still a really good position for Creator, but I don't understand how KazuR is even allowed to be out on the map after this opener. It's going to not elevator. It's going to well, what do you call this? Pick up and drop down some of these tanks. Quickly get them into a pretty sick position. Look at this. Big scan coming in right now as well, and that might cost him his 3rd base. It really might. Is there a storm available? There was. It doesn't get used. This army moves in forward. Tanks from the low ground dealing a lot of damage. Mine coming in as well. One Colossus is gonna get sniped. This has been an insanely efficient move. An insanely effective move as the charge-locked flank is going to try and take out some of these tanks. One tank will fall. Second tank goes down. Left side fight though going extremely well here for KazuR. After a god-awful start, he takes a little bit of a lead here in this game when it comes to the supply. Down in eco still by, well, a pretty decent amount. You see 6, 7, 8 workers. Forward base extremely late. It's going to be down in upgrades for a long time as well. Hasn't even started his +1 armor yet. But that was a huge move. And for a second I started to believe that the third base was going to fall. It didn't end up going down. 8 barracks now going down. We have the +2 attack as well coming in. Skipping the armor upgrades in favor of more damage. I kind of like it. I kind of do like it. Do we have that Ghost Academy? Yes, we do have a Ghost Academy. So the first 3 ghosts should be on the way right about now, I would say. There comes the first one. Gas is available as Vikings are being produced as well over here. There is a Prism and it might just get taken out. These 2 Zealots will not be capable of achieving anything. Come on, KazuR, move on forward. Big stim with all of his Marines. Only his Marines, do note. Marauders did not get stimmed there. It's going to save him a bunch of energy. The only problem that KazuR still has is going to be the upgrades. That is a serious issue though. 2-2 upgrades soon versus just +1 attack. That means that KazuR is going to be down 3 upgrades soon. And that ain't great. +3 attack already on the way. Dark Shrine coming in as well. We have the defense with the Templar cannon set up. As these Zealots will find the SCVs, but they'll ignore them for now. Zealots instead moving in towards the natural. KazuR somewhat in position to deal with that. Creator believes he has the right to move out on the map. I am not so sure if I agree with that. Does he really have the right? We're a single EMP away from this army feeling very vulnerable. Lots of Zealots moving towards that 4th base. This medevac popped in and, just making sure that there are still units there. And indeed there are. Oh, that's an F2 move if I've ever seen one. Yep, entire F2 move here. Moving that army towards the left side. We'll lose the medevac as a result. Stargate going down. More Vikings on the way. 5th base in production. Creator is playing a very solid, calm and stable game. But KazuR is in a position that he never should have been in. And that is something that does hurt me quite a bit. He never, in a million years, should have found himself in this particular spot. I just don't think it should have been the case at all. So what are we doing right now? What are we doing over here? We have a bunch of ghosts out. Starting to move in. EMP goes down on battery plus Nexus. One storm is going to connect. Disruptor forces this army back. That's it when it comes to the splash. That's it. I think KazuR has the ability to kill this base if he wants to. And I think he wants to. I think he wants to take out this base. And then he's going to take out this base. Disruptor moving in forward. KazuR he's playing this too patient. Look at his army split here. Creator is not quite appreciating that this is the entire army that KazuR has. KazuR winning a fight. KazuR taking out this base. And now finally Creator's like, oh, wait a second, that's a lot of units. Why am I still pre-split? And that's a question they probably should have asked himself a little earlier. Storms are okay-ish. Are going to push this back. And for the first time in this game, KazuR not only has the momentum, but his army is also just looking extremely dangerous. I'm not even sure if Creator can fight this. If KazuR were to turn around. Like KazuR looks at this army, he's like, well, I have a lot of ghosts. Maybe he wants like another round of Vikings. I don't understand that. Can't get hit by the disruptors. Yeah, KazuR wants to fight. One more round of Vikings. Like, hey, wait a second. My army's way bigger than yours. There are 2 storms available here. 1 zoning storm. 1 more can be thrown down. Unless, of course, we see an EMP hit. Instant rotation coming out of KazuR. Look at this. Look at the rotations that Creator is making here. He kind of understands where his opponent wants to go. KazuR, however, no, finds himself in a good spot. Needs to know that there's a 5th base here. Does he know? Is he aware? Oh, that's another pre-split here coming out of Creator. And that means he's going to lose this base as well. KazuR with some phenomenal movement. Coming back into this game. Takes out this base, takes out an Immortal. And now it's Creator that's on the ropes. Viking count looking healthy. Storm is going to connect with a large portion of that army, and that is big. These medevacs are kind of running out of energy. One Colossus does get sniped. Are there any ship weapon upgrades? No, there are not. Double command centers going down. I think it's time for a second starport fusion core combination. We do see the second starport. We need to see the ship weapons. We need to see the fusion core. The ghost count is still looking healthy. There is an observer here that needs to be sniped at some point. Not sure how aware of this KazuR is. This is a bad position, very bad position. Still no ship weapons upgrade. As KazuR should go for a bit of a pre-split here. Does not want to walk into this. His army is very low, overstimmed. Only 4 medevacs here, and I don't think he can actually win this fight. Completely overstimmed here. All Vikings have died as well. Don't forget, this is a 3-3 army against a +2 army. A 4 upgrade difference. And that is going to seriously matter in this matchup. KazuR needs to dodge his life responsibilities of fighting this army, at least for a little bit. Needs a higher medevac count. He needs +3. Without +3, you're not going to win a fight. Absolutely no way. I cannot imagine this. Once again, full-on stim here as he takes out a couple of zealots. Ooh, look at his flank. Look at his flank. Look at his flank. Pickup was almost perfect. It was good, only losing 2 units there, because that was a surprise. KazuR should probably send it for a base trade. He should probably go for a base trade right now. Is going to take out one of these Colossus. That is good. That is very good. I like that. There's only 2 Vikings, though. And KazuR does not want to fight. He absolutely does not want to fight. He might believe he wants to fight, but he does not want to fight. Disruptor count is too high. There are 2 immortals here that give this army a little bit of backbone that was lacking earlier. Creator has managed to set up 5 bases, but KazuR is setting up 6. It's going to be ahead in eco for the first time really in this game. 2 starports pumping out medevacs at a high pace. Mines need to set up as well. Creator pushing in forward. Overstimmed army is still here. Vikings move commanding into these 2 Colossus pretty much. Loses 1 Viking, gets a single volley off. This is just an extremely overstimmed army, and that is the problem here for KazuR. He should have been dodging this fight, but he gets forced into it by Creator, who smells blood in the water, and I think Creator should continue pushing on over here. Double prisms are out. There's only 8 gateways as 4 DTs get warped as well. We don't have DT blink quite yet, but this base is forced to live right now. Disruptor shot still being sent out 1 at a time. There's no high ground vision as these observers, they're trying to move in forward. They're all in the same control group. Purification of us just too good. Just a little bit too good. KazuR did a phenomenal job getting back into this game, but at the end of the day, made a couple too many mistakes here. Unlucky early game into a stinker of a fight there with an overstimmed army, not enough medevacs. Not having the ship weapons really hurts him as well. Like, it does so much for the Vikings. KazuR here is trying his best, but this game is absolutely over. He was up to 6 bases. He managed to deny many of his opponent's bases. Of course, Creator managed to set up 5 again and has good income now. Has good gas income as well, but boy was this freaking close, huh? What an absolute banger of a series, though. Very high level stuff. Good games, and Creator is getting it in the end. KazuR, though. Nice control. Good understanding of where to move his army. Really good understanding of where to move his army. I truly do appreciate that. Here comes the stim forward. It's gonna connect with 2 of these marauders. I think that is pretty much going to be all she wrote. It's 3 marauders a ghost versus a massive disruptor stalker army. Not sure what KazuR thinks he's doing in here still. Yep, GG gets called. Creator wins the series with a 3-2 score. A close series, a series that in the end probably got decided by the early game in this game. Solaris is a good map for Terran, and KazuR understood how to use that map, but he was so far behind from the early game. His upgrade deficit was too big to overcome. The Creator gets a W here. I hope you all did enjoy this. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.